you ever find yourself with too much disposable income, I got plenty of ideas on how to dispose of it.
Might I have a word, Commander?
Whoa, Val. Watch where you're pointing that shooter of yours.
You've been pitching a little unevenly.
Since the fastball incident of '97, automechs are not permitted to participate in tossball games, leagues, or tournaments.
I mean, your aim has been off. Wouldn't want me or the good commander here catching any strays.
When attempting to capture a stray animal, approach slowly and quietly. If the animal senses danger, it may grow aggressive.
You know what? Forget I said anything. You're doing great.
Oh, what's this? Non-protectorate personnel just sauntering up onto my porch, free as they please. Admit I'm accustomed to a higher standard of precaution. State your purpose, outsider, or exit yon way you came. Well, that all sounds rather exciting, like something out of an Aetherwave serial, which I've watched only for official research purposes, of course. Most in the Protectorate don't know what the Earth Directorate is, you know. Suspect you've received a few blank stares if you've mentioned it afore. Anyhow, you travel freely. I'll forgo appealing to your sense of duty, as those outside the Protectorate lack such motivating principles. I presume you accept payment for services? In my role, I compile material providing special insight on other colonies. Items prohibited to others, news logs, serials, and the like. During recent troubles, unsavory elements removed certain items from my old office. Among them, a series which took considerable time to assemble. A form of manipulatory ideation disguised as popular entertainment, intended to sway the audience to their point of view, couched within just a crackingly exciting narrative. Tell me, are you familiar with Science Adventures Quarterly, featuring Commander Zane and Buddy and other sensationalistic space stories? It was a popular fiction periodical from not long ago. Each of its 10 volumes featured an exhilarating cover illustration depicting Zane and Buddy's thrilling exploits. Whether they faced automechanical industrialists or robber magnates from the Plutocrian kleptocracy, their tales remained invigorating thrill rides. The line represented a growth of the medium from the less sophisticated 2-bit dreadful, both in style and effectiveness. Its remarkable popularity not only mirrored a rise in public sentiment against greedy corporations and tyrannical governments across colonies, the brief window surrounding the volume's release saw a marked increase in skip drone requests for Earth Directorate aid. I believe there remains much to learn from them. I'll admit Commander Zane and Buddy's exploits make for a sensational read. They saved Carnifeller's brain, for instance. Oh, and Mammon Incorporated, of course, too. So no, I am not immune to their considerable charms, but my interests in recovering them are strictly professional, I can assure you. Ah, quite right. In fact, delightful. Once you have one of the 10 periodicals in hand, I will trade you for rarities and bits. Stay true, outsider. Greetings. Something new to report? Once you have one of the 10 periodicals in hand, I will trade you for rarities and bits. May safety, amity, and ease be yours.
Let me know when you need an address.
Commencing combat-related activities. Confronting threat. Emergency protocol syringes primed.
I know I've been pushing to find DeVries, so this might seem a bit of a left turn. Avoid it. I'm just gonna ask. Got an old friend here on the island. The doctor who patched me up after Horizon Point. Ex-protectorate, a good man. Tracked on the Westport a short time ago, but never got up the nerve to visit. Reckon we could drop by and pay him a visit. Brief one, of course. Oh, legs bother me a bit, but no more than usual. Anyway, that's not the reason I'm asking to visit. I had some bad years on my own. Now with you here being part of a team, this might sound a mite soppy, but I feel like I could be a proper agent again. That starts with writing accounts. This friend of mine, Zebulon Tran, I let him down. And I've been chewing on that live wire for a while. Too long, maybe. After I recovered from Horizon Point, Zeb and I ran together for a spell, doing what we could to help folks in difficult spots. Fighting protectorate tyranny in small ways. Too small for Zeb, as it turned out. He was unhappy before I showed up, and after, well, all my directorate talk fired him up even more. I had my orders. I was to stay low. Couldn't let the protectorate catch wind of an Earth Directorate agent in its midst. But Zeb, he kept pushing to take more extreme action. Resistance is a mite strong. Wasn't like he was part of some greater movement. He avoided speaking out of line, but he was already spinning up discontent by the time we met. We worked hard, but the Protectorate's arbiters and sentinels worked harder. Often than not, our help only made targets of the folks whose lives we were trying to improve. Didn't matter what we did. Arcadia was still caught under the Protectorate's boot. Well, you weren't. Anyway, things weren't good. Zeb and I couldn't find the rhythm we had before. We were arguing every day. Eventually, cutting ties just seemed for the best. Clean like. Only later I learned Zeb hadn't given up the struggle like I assumed he would. He got to stay in mental refreshment for his trouble. That's the last I heard of him, till recent. If the Protectorate suspects someone of having an independent thought, they subject them to some kind of chemical brainwashing. And these folks who get refreshed, they come out less themselves than before. More agreeable-like. That's if their mind ain't destroyed altogether. I don't know how it affected Zeb, but it's high past time I found out. If it weren't for Zeb, I'd be in the ground. It's a debt I never properly repaid. Plus, I don't relish his last memory of me being a vanishing act. I owe him better. And since finding you, well, a lot feels possible now that didn't before. Much appreciated, Commander. Promise, I won't be making a habit of pulling skeletons out of my closet. Westport's on the east side of the island. I tracked Zeb to somewhere on its outskirts, but never got up the nerve to visit before now. We ought to start there. Being this close to DeVries feels like we're finally on track to set the universe aright. Anyway, need something, Commander? Feels good to be back in the saddle, don't it, Val? Kind of reminds me of our days in Nix's orbit, dodging protectorate patrols. You remember that?
Error. Memory not found.
Ah, well. That's all right, Val. I'll just have to do the remembering for both of us.
No, Jackson, don't! Don't fret. With these boots, I can fly! Ah! Jackson, you're too young to be a crater in the dirt! Oh, law, I can't believe he jumped that way.
Sir, I know this isn't the time, but are they gonna put us to the gallows for this?
What? No. That ain't how we operate in Auntie's Choice, Liza. We might be looking at a pretty fierce demotion for losing half our workforce and getting stuck up here, though.
Demotion to fertilizer?
No. Now cease your jawing. This ain't the time. Hey, you! You down there! Would you mind checking on our fellow? Might he have survived the fall? He thought those boots would make him fly, but they really just allow the user to jump repeatedly. Unless their downward velocity is too great. If so, well, you see what happens. We've been stuck atop this machine since Ida, one of our new Protectorate acquisitions, had her gray matter scrambled by the height, jumped down, and landed right in its gears. I can't fathom no sensible motive. She joined us shortly after Auntie liberated her with the freedom of meritocracy, and she seemed happy enough.
Were you not listening? She said she'd always be a loyal subject. It was part of the endless inculcation we endured in the Protectorate. It can prove insurmountable for some.
The notion that she'd sacrifice herself, even after seeing the vast possibilities in staying alive and climbing the corporate ladder, it's just impossible to cognize. There ain't no way off this platform besides jumping, and you've seen how that ends. But you being down there makes you uniquely qualified to help us. The reason Jackson tried using those plasma thruster boots was to gather a piece of machinery we'd spotted on a little table halfway up the spire.
It's a drive overloader. If we install it, we can push the platform's arm hard enough to... well, to grind old Ida out of the gears.
Though the power of that overloader will deluge the system and, well, overload the drive and burn it out all permanent-like. But desperate times and all that.
So if you were to use them boots to bound up the spire and deliver the overloader to us, we'd avoid the tragic fate of our two former cohorts.
Exactly! Because he had no idea how science works and thought the word thrusters meant he could fly. So, when I told him to jump, he opted for open air instead of where I told him to go. They're experimental. We'd not laid eyes on them before, but the data we found with them says they were actually designed to let people hop their way up the spire. If you activate the plasma thrusters when you're already airbound, they can give you a fair bit of extra boost. It should let you turn a quick hop into a surprisingly grand vault. What? but that doesn't make any... Look, are you gonna help us or not?
Thank the Sovereign. Thank you, stranger. We are eagerly anticipating a long life utterly absent of starvation. Oh, you're by our crop of Brachythecium rutabulum. They're found in bandages and burn tinctures. If you don't have that drive overloader, ascending may be a waste.
That's it? It was that easy? That was some impressive climbing. Poor Jackson could have learned a thing or two from you. Starting with the right direction to jump, I suppose. Wonderful. Get us down, and I'll happily compensate you in accordance with standard Auntie's Choice urgently improvised extortive standards. That was some impressive climbing.
We've certainly found our way into a most harrowing circumstance, At least I'm glad I'm not alone. He hadn't been here terribly long, so we weren't particularly familiar. Like me, he was also former protectorate, but he was not raised in Fairfield, so we'd never met before. Still, he seemed like a friendly, kind sort, albeit a headstrong one. I'm sorry he's gone. Poor Ida. She wasn't able to overcome a lifetime of protectorate programming. Well, thanks to you, she failed. And that's one last insult to the Sovereign I'm happy to oblige. Please do hurry. I've lost count of how many meals we've missed, but it is closer to many than a few, and we're starving. You're really something else, stranger. Thank you for getting us down.
Oh, thank the law. I never thought of myself as a vertiginous sort, but being trapped 100 meters in the air will make you reconsider.
I mirror that sentiment, to be certain. In fact, Auntie will have to pay me triple if heights are to be involved. And isn't it grand to be in a system that allows me that freedom?
I agree with Liza. I'm inclined to keep a few paces from farming equipment from now on. Here's your reward for evacuating us with all our parts intact. I perhaps ain't as awash in currency as I'd prefer, so you can have my helmet as well. It was useful for identifying crops we'd missed in our harvest. But to be honest, I'd like a little distance from plants for a spell. Thanks again for getting us off that literal ledge. Though with our gratitude meaningfully expressed through the requisite bits, I'm not sure we have anything more to discuss.
You're really something else, stranger. Thank you for getting us down.
Every time I think I'm having a bad day, I just tell my...
Introducing Auntie's new line of specialty drinks for the discerning consumer. Auntie Fizzos.
I've been gone a while. How'd it go? Tell me you got good news. Why, that's terrible. But you said you have the schematics? I'll take those. What? Sovereign's finest potato corollary peeler? This was supposed to be a guaranteed bestseller. Who in their right mind would... Jackson, you idiot! Ah! It's a good thing he's dead, because if he wasn't, I'd kill him! There's no... God damn it! I'm never getting that promotion. This was supposed to be my easy path to a promotion. Must be something I can do to salvage this. Tell me, did you come across any other advanced protectorate technology while you were there? Anything more, well, easily marketable? Personal thrusters? No one would ever want such preposterous things. I'd be laughed out of recreant reclamation. Imagine, jumping about like a sprog. Ridiculous. Well, here's all I can spare in regards to your compensation. Try not to spend it all in one place. It's supposed to be categorically bad for commerce. In the unlikely event things somehow pan out and I get that big promotion, I'll see you're taken care of. Until then, take care.
These rifts got me awful perturbed. Ain't reality hard enough without some nerve-wracking phenomenon punching holes in it?
Choice will shine again.
Whoever fixes this rift problem is definitely getting a hull-side sweep with an Elysium view in head office tower. Wish they'd solve... Already. These rifts are giving me the collywobbles.